about you when you went the other way?
No, I saw you turn.
Yeah. No, you got it right there. I was gonna jump too.
Yeah, that was a 50-50, dude. That was a Vegas 50-50.
That was not
Because
gonna.
I could have hit a creek, like you said. I could have hit a creek and then turned to the other side. I was like, you know what?
So no sound right now, right? Okay, so I'm telling Rebecca she wants to know if she can start rolling, but there won't be sound till he talks.
Any islands about to put in general threat pressure coming soon. Is that okay?
Yeah. She's the one who's rolling it.
No, you know what? You're not wrong, dude. You know the HEB on Broadway?
Yeah, they got the big ones.
Dude, they have
Yeah. No, I go to Photo Wine and More. Photo Wine and More?
Oh, yeah.
I go there. I got a friend that likes to flavor the flavor. So sometimes they'll send me a picture. They'll say like, hey man, Slick's got this one. Yeah, and then we finally, and the HEB rider, man, we finally got a big thing. They hired a guy to take care of beer aisle, beer and wine stuff. So when I met him, I was like, he's like, hey man, let me know. If the distributor's got it, I'll buy you at least 8. And I'll buy more. So every time I see him. Elder.
Dude, they're too long.
Oh man, that's bold.
I know, dude. But I really need to.
Oh, when you're ready, call me.
Eating on the car. If I know you're going to be here, I would have brought you.
Yeah. I did a story on
Alicia's going to put up this story, so I'll take a look at this.
Okay.
For her.
Yeah. I got it. Okay.
I'll go.
No, yours is sparkly. That one's not too sparkly.
It's cool. I have better ribs.
Yeah. You know, honestly, the thing I keyed in on though was the Universal logo on the back.
Yeah, so they're called the essays. Local companies that local members that distribute at home, and you could they show you like everything, so it's free. You don't have to. There's no fee dues. There's nothing. You just sign up to them, and they show you how to make beer at home. And when I was there, the guys were like, "All right, man. Well,
I'm not doing it. I have to figure it out.
He busted out 4 of them. 4 of the champions, yeah. And I was like,
Well, looks like Sheriff is putting on the county night
yeah,
for their life. So
I enjoyed it.
I'm going to go ahead and turn our mic on.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stay with you.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
No.
What's the question?
iPhone portable charger.
No, I don't have it with me.
I wonder if this is intentional. She spelled Guadalupe with a U. The Treaty of Guadalupe.
When I
Hidalgo.
found out about that, it's like comic books not there no more.
U-A-D.
Exactly. Where's that name?
Instead of putting
have the. Yeah, so you can tap into like my battery.
Oh yeah,
He has the.
my battery. It's got a USB port right here.
Yeah, and I have one that should be up here. I have the thing. But I have this plugged into that.
I don't think I've ever actually tried to use it to charge my phone,
These
but
have a USB.
We were looking to get one, but the only thing is having the extra hands back at the office.
Somebody to fire it up. And you know what? Maybe you need something that'll multi literally.
Yeah.
Like the first.
well, I mean, yeah.
And the first one you could power it up from the back.
Yeah.
But I think ours, somebody has to do back there.
Yeah.
Not ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys use TV, don't
We
you?
use TV.
Yeah. So I can push the button on mine, or they can at master control turn mine on. The thing that I don't love about mine is the fact that it's stuck in the truck. It's in a rack. So I'm always tied to this vehicle. Tethered. That's correct.
Everybody get their balances?
Yes, sir.
My check, my check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Johnny Garcia. Mic check 1 2. Mic check.
You know what? I'll take them.
Mic check 1 2.
Thank you, John.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. Give us about 2 or 3 more minutes.
Thanks, sir. You stay that way.
I've been wanting to. I made a trip out there first. Yeah. I got
Johnny,
for the Saturday.
give us a second. We're gonna.
Beer fest.
The one in town?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a birthday present. Somebody reminded me yesterday. Oh. That was hard.
Oh, they're taking a drink. Probably the same.
¿Siempre has hecho esto?
Sí.
Máximo.
También el día y ya.
¿Se ve?
Bringing this back, so.
Oh, sorry. Fake out.
I would have hit record.
Fake.
Right here.
Thank you.
That way when you ask the question, he turns this way.
Okay. Okay.
Good morning. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. We have got a scene that, I mean, at this point, is nothing short of heartbreak. But we've got a bunch of first responders up the road on North Greytown. that are doing an outstanding job considering the circumstances. With me is Chris Lopez. He's our fire marshal. I'll be bringing him up shortly. But what we had is this morning we had 2 vehicles that were swept away on North Greytown at the creek further up. At this point, both vehicles one is fully submerged, the other's partially submerged. There were some swiftwater rescues done by some ESD firefighters that again did an outstanding job. They were able to get some folks out, but unfortunately we do have 2 missing persons at this point that are unaccounted for. One little girl, I believe to be around 5 years of age, and an adult female. At this point, we're setting up a joint command post to us, fire marshals, and the ESD. We've got some investigators that are on the way to they'll be handling this as a crime scene, as they would a crime scene. Obviously, we don't believe anybody's going to be facing criminal charges, but because we believe we may be dealing with the recovery effort at this point, we've got some investigators going to be out handling that. So with that, I will bring up Chris, and then I'll do a Spanish soundbite for you all here in just a second. So, Chris.
Thank you, Sheriff. As the Sheriff said, this is definitely an unfortunate set of circumstances that we have here today. Swift water is definitely something that not only Bexar County, but really Central Texas is, we're not foreign. We see this often. Unfortunately, people don't listen to the warnings, the signs that are up, or even barricades. Oftentimes they just go around them. And we have systems within Bexar County that in the unincorporated areas, the HALT system that our county public works office runs, and it's a really good warning system that all should heed for sure. And it's one of those things that, as the sheriff said, this scene will be treated as a crime scene, even though there's no criminal intent believed in any of that. The fire departments that were out here, we had our east side ESDs, ESD 10, ESD 12 were the main ones that were out here that the sheriff had talked about doing such a great job. We have our office, the Office of Emergency Management personnel here on scene. I'm also the county office emergency manager, so that's part of our office as well. So we will be working in a unified command during the remainder of this incident. We have our office, our PIO, working with the Sheriff's Office PIO, also in unified command to deliver messages to you and to the public as we go through this process. And it is a process. It's just like anything else that we do. We take these step by step as we go through to ensure that everything is handled properly, and also lessons learned. Can we learn lessons from what has happened here today? And at the end of the day, the answer to that question is always yes. Unfortunately, we do have loss of life, and right now we just we pray for those families sincerely. We hope that they're able to get through this, and we're going to be here, and we'll be available for questions if you guys have any.
Esta mañana nosotros, tanto como los bomberos de uno de los departamentos de esta área, fuimos despachados a una escena donde 2 carros se hundieron, y aunque los bomberos lograron rescatar varios niños y un adulto, desafortunadamente todavía quedamos de encontrar una niña de aproximadamente 5 años y una mujer que también todavía estamos buscando. Desafortunadamente el carro que pensamos que la niña está dentro del carro todavía está suficiente, muy abajo del agua. Los bomberos andaban caminando arriba del carro, y el agua todavía les estaba llegando a las rodillas arriba del carro. Entonces ellos no pueden con mucha seguridad entrar al agua porque la corriente va muy fuerte. Entonces ahorita tenemos que esperar hasta que el agua se baje un poco, y luego ya pueden ir y ojalá vamos a poder encontrar el cuerpo de la niña. Ahorita también el carro donde la mujer está, nosotros estamos tratando de averiguar cómo entrar con un vehículo 4x4 para tratar de de sacar ese carro del agua y no sabemos ahorita si la mujer todavía está en ese carro. Entonces también estamos trayendo los drones de nosotros para poder ver el agua más allá de donde están los carros, para poder averiguar si el cuerpo de la mujer por alguna razón se salió del carro y está más adelante. What I mentioned in the Spanish soundbite that I did not mention is that at this point the vehicle with what we believe the little girl is in is fully submerged. The firefighters were actually walking on the roof of that car, and even then the water was still up to their knees and the current was pretty swift. So the trick is to try to get that car out, is they're going to have to try to get underneath and get a cable attached to be able to pull the car out. But at this point, we're trying to figure out how to get a four-wheel drive truck out to it on the bank without sinking, to try to get some cables hooked up. There's another car that we believe the adult female was in at one point. We don't know if she's still in that car. The car, one of the doors is open, and so right now we're bringing out our drones to check further downstream to see if by some chance she was able to make it out of the car. But at this point, we do believe we're dealing with just a straight up recovery effort. On that, I think it would be nothing short of a miracle if we were able to find anybody alive at this point. I don't believe that that's going to be the case. But with that being said, we're going to do everything possible to make that happen. Any questions for myself or for the fire marshal?
What did the families, the people that you were able to rescue, I mean, how many of those people were you able to rescue? And also, what did they say were the conditions when they went in? Are there barricades out there? Are there lights? What's the story?
Well, I know that there's a barricade off to the side. I know there are some flashing lights, but we don't know 100% what route these folks were taking. We believe they were taking the kids to school. The kids had backpacks when the firefighters were rescuing them from the car. They had backpacks on, but we don't know exactly what route they took, but there are flashing lights out here. So again, knowing that we're going to get more rain probably in the next 24 hours or so, it's just not worth it, folks. Take another route. You know, it may sound like an old cliche, turn around, don't drown, but it's the truth. That water there, even where we were standing, I was sitting looking at it, and it looked like maybe knee-high water, but one of the firefighters said, no, that's 8-foot deep water that you're looking at right there, and it doesn't look it. So, I mean, there's no sense in taking a chance. At this point, we're dealing with the aftermath of something like that. And we're gonna do what we can, but what we're asking the public to do is to do their part and just don't go through. Find another route. If the kids have to be late to school, or if you've got to call in late to work, it's much better than the situation what we're dealing with right now.
Sheriff, how were you able to get to the people who were rescued? We heard some talk about some people clinging to trees, perhaps. Is that where you found them? Were they able to get out of the car?
Well, the firefighters did that. I think Chris would be able to better address that, but I do know that they did pull some folks out of some trees. I mean, I got to tell you, and I sang the praises of the firefighters over there. They're dealing with a lot right now, but what they did was nothing short of heroic. They got out there, they risked their life, as first responders will do, right? But they did a great job today, and I'm exceedingly proud of these gentlemen. I met them today just for the first time. But they are nothing short of heroes. They pulled these kiddos out of trees. They pulled a kid out of the car, and in doing so, they put themselves at great risk of harm, bodily injury or death. Sí, no, pues los bomberos que llegaron y rescataron los niños, algunos de esos niños estaban todavía en el carro, otros ya se habían salido del carro y estaban en los árboles. Y pues los bomberos estos son héroes, simplemente. Ellos hicieron lo que héroes deberían de ser y rescataron a estos niños a mucho riesgo de su cuerpo. Y pues yo tengo mucho orgullo por lo que hicieron estos héroes esta mañana, aunque yo apenas los conocí esta mañana, son héroes.
Y el vehículo que estaba completamente sumergido es donde se cree que está la pequeña. ¿Ahí es donde también estaba la mujer o la mujer estaba en el otro?
No, son dos carros. Sí. La niña está en uno que está completamente bajo del agua. La mujer está, pensamos que está en el otro carro que nomás está parte bajo del agua. Pero las puertas de ese carro ya están abiertas y no se sabe si la mujer, el cuerpo de ella todavía está dentro de ese carro o si ella se salió y la corriente se la llevó.
¿Y de cuál vehículo fueron rescatados los otros niños?
De ese carro, de donde está la mujer. Lo que yo sé ahorita, lo que pienso yo ahorita es que los niños que fueron rescatados estaban con la mujer y hay un hombre que también rescataron que él estaba con la niña. Pero ahorita las puertas del carro donde pensamos que está la niña, todas las ventanas están cerradas y las puertas están cerradas. Entonces nosotros pensamos en estos momentos que la niña, el cuerpo de esa niña está en ese carro. Any other questions, y'all?
So just to be clear, we have two separate families?
We believe they're somewhat related. I think that there's I'll call it an extended family, and I believe they were in two separate cars traveling in tandem when this happened.
And the approximate ages of the folks that you did rescue?
I know that there was an adult male. Kristen, are you more up on that?
So there were 4 juvenile males that were rescued out of one of the vehicles. Juvenile, of course, in Texas under the age of 17, so 16 and under. And then as far as the adult male, probably in his mid to late 30s. As far as the others, I don't. To answer one of the questions that somebody had asked over here about how they were rescued, our emergency service district departments out here have ladder trucks. And that is something that they can park and platform out in a safe location and extend their ladder and be able to help pick people off of trees, out of trees, off of vehicles, that kind of stuff, or even out of the water. Oftentimes they'll put a rescuer out on the end of the ladder to be able to safely reach out and grab someone. Also, Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS 107 helicopter was out here, and they had their folks that were assisting with rescues. Eagle, which is the San Antonio Police Department, Excellence to Air to Ground Law Enforcement. That's what the Eagle stands for, right? I mean, those guys are excellent, and they have rescuers that are part of the San Antonio Fire Department MSOU team, and those folks were out there helping as well. So
There was a boat out here from one of the smaller.
So yeah, Schertz, the city of Schertz had their boat out here. Thank you, Sheriff. Yes, they had their boat out here, and they came in and assisted with rescues as well. So it was really a team effort from the state agencies, all the way down to our local municipalities.
Are
So,
they SUVs or regular vehicle cars?
so the vehicles that are submerged, I don't know, Sheriff.
I believe they're both sedans.
Both stand?
Yes, they're both sedans.
And who made the phone call? Was it a passerby or did they all call somebody?
So as heartbreaking as it sounds, my understanding is at least one of the calls came from the woman who's now missing. From reading the details on the call, it sounds as if she may have actually been on the phone with dispatch when some of this was unfolding, which makes it that much more. En estos momentos, lo que yo pienso, nomás de leer el reporte que tenemos ahorita, es que es posible que una de las llamadas vino de la mujer que no se encuentra ahorita. Nosotros pensamos que ella estaba en el teléfono con la operadora cuando estaba pasando esto. Es lo que yo estoy viendo ahorita en el reporte.
Like a lengthy call, like please save me?
I think it was something along those lines from the sounds of it. If what I'm reading is correct, and Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if what I'm reading is correct, she's physically describing what's happening at the moment, and it's pretty heart-wrenching stuff.
Chris había hablado un poquito del sistema HOPE. ¿Me podías hablar un poquito del sistema de HOPE y de si había esas cosas aquí en las carreteras?
The Hope, is that the ladder truck?
The halt.
The barricade system.
The halt.
Yeah.
HALT.
Yeah.
Oh, no, pues se sabe que habían luces, pero ahorita no sé qué tenían para bloquear el camino, sino que nosotros vimos que hay luces, pero no sabemos la ruta que tomaron estas familias para entrar a ese punto. Entonces no se sabe si ellos pasaron por las luces. Por eso nosotros tenemos los investigadores que vienen ahorita de nuestra unidad de homicidio, y ellos bien se van a poder averiguar de dónde venían estas familias cuando esto pasó.
About what time did they actually hit the water? Were they traveling together? You said they were going to school, so I'm imagining it's...
It was around between 6 and 7, I'm guessing.
It was right around that time, about the time you'd be taking your kids
So
to
there was
school.
no daylight at that point? It was still dark?
I don't believe though. I think
still dark.
as the rescues were going on, there was light, and the rescuers were able to get in there. They were able to see by light, but I think at that point it's safe to say it was at the very least overcast a bit.
Sheriff, is there any evidence that they actually did go around a barricade, or were they just warning lights?
I don't know. I don't know, Tim, at this point. You know, there are barricades there, but I don't know if they were up or, you know, got swept out of the way by the water. That's why CID's coming out to look at that whole scenario. We'll know more as the day goes on.
¿Cuánto tardaron en el rescate de las personas que se pudieron sacar?
No sé, fueron varios minutos, pero los bomberos llegaron pronto, obviamente, ellos llegaron pronto y lograron rescatar a esos niños, pero por ahorita quisiéramos simplemente encontrar los otros carros, poder sacarlos, pero ahorita tenemos pendiente porque en el área del agua donde tuviéramos que meter una camioneta, una troca, hay soquete, y el soquete pueden ver en mis botas tanto que se sume un cuerpo. Imagínense una troca que pueda entrar. Entonces ahorita estamos planeando entre varias agencias cómo vamos a entrar para sacar esos carros de ahí.
Y un mensaje a las personas que tal vez quieran pasar por estas áreas de riesgo, que creen que con facilidad puedan cruzar.
Mira, el agua hace cosas feas, hace cosas diferentes. Ahorita yo estaba ahí cerca de donde está el camino bajo del agua, y yo viéndolo pensaba que me iba a llegar hasta las rodillas, pero el bombero me dijo, no, esa agua tiene 8 pies de hondo, entonces, y no se ve. Y se ve que en arriba se ve calmado el agua, pero lo que los bomberos me dicen es que abajo hay corrientes fuertes que pueden llevar a una persona, pueden llevar obviamente se pueden llevar un carro, y por eso ellos ya no se pueden poner a riesgo. Ya sabemos que en estos momentos desafortunadamente no vamos a lograr rescatar a esa niña, ya solamente podemos encontrar el cuerpo y sacarla de ahí.
Sheriff, the people that were rescued, were they taken to area hospitals? Were they being looked
I believe they're being checked out by EMS nearby. I don't know exactly where, but I don't believe they were taken to the hospital. I think they're in this general area.
Has family been notified?
Mande?
Has family been notified?
Yeah, well, yes. The family's all together. So, I mean, I believe the gentleman that was with the little girl, I believe they're related, and I believe he knows what's occurring at this point.
The truck that just went by, the Acadian, that is the contract emergency medical service for the county. So if you live in the unincorporated areas, Acadian covers the areas, with the exception of a couple of our ESDs who have their own EMS service. District 2 and District 7 have their own EMS. So if you are in unincorporated Bexar County, they said that they had approximately 40 personnel that responded out here. So Acadian had a really large response to this incident itself. So you know, and I know oftentimes we get those questions as county emergency personnel. You know, do we just depend on volunteers? Not anymore. That's something that I think that could be highlighted at this time, is that we have paid fire departments, we have paid EMS, and the days are gone that everything was these volunteers the way it used to be. That's not the way it is anymore. So, and as the sheriff has given definitely you know, these props to our fire department, that definitely is their training, and it is the equipment that they have, that the ESD, the taxpayers in those ESDs, that's why they pay their taxes. And man, I'll tell you what, it is definitely a different world than it was 16 years ago when I first came to the office. You know, when I started, it was all volunteers, and we just don't have that anymore, and it's a blessing.
Okay. And if there are no other questions, we'll head back to the scene. You're gonna see assets being brought in throughout the day. I believe our command post is on the way out. We're setting up joint command. We are not going anywhere until we've got a resolution to this problem out here, and we are going to work together between us, the fire marshal's office, the ESDs. I just can't say enough good things about our folks, and we would certainly ask everybody to keep these heroes in your prayers. We should thank God for that such people exist as these heroes that are out here. I'm proud to stand beside them, and I'm proud to be able to watch them work as they go about their day for the rest of the day here. So I appreciate y'all coming out, and we'll keep y'all posted as we're able to. Thank you.
Fire Marshal,
Yes.
Can we get your name?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you just state your name to the microphone?
Just okay. Yes, my name is Chris Lopez, CHRIS LOPEZ.
And title?
And I'm the county fire marshal and emergency management coordinator for Bexar County.
Say that once again.
The county fire marshal, Bexar County fire marshal with one L. Oftentimes people will spell fire marshal with two L's. That's okay. I'm the county fire marshal and the emergency manager for the county. The judge is actually for any county, the county judge is actually the emergency manager, and I'm the one that has been blessed by him to be his assistant. So that gives me the opportunity to serve as the emergency management coordinator in his stead.
Thank you.
Thank
You bet, guys. Thank y'all.
Can I just clarify one thing? So the man and the girl were in one car, and then the woman and four young
The juveniles
juveniles,
were all in one car.
and they're all guys, the four,
That's
and they're all safe, and then
Yes.
the man in the other car is safe.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, and even the dad of the little girl, they got it. Is that clear?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, sure.
Yes, ma'am. And then, if anything, I'll probably just come back.
The very first of it?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't look at it.
Very good. Typically what I do is shoot it out and I'll just airdrop it. All right. Okay.
Check out my top
You want to, you guys get the B-roll?
Okay.
You can probably airdrop it to my MacBook.
Okay.
We do that now?
Sure, if you want to.
You're not leaving
You want me to? I'm gonna be airdropping some B-roll that I took down there. Oh yeah. You wanna get it?
All right.